Hi guys, this is Extragavanza's Skip It or Stream It. This is a weekly show where I listen to EPs and albums released in India, both in the independent space as well as movie space, and tell you whether to skip it or stream it based on my understanding and my appreciation and my metrics of listening to music. So please do like this video, comment if you think that you liked something better than what I did, or if you didn't, comment. And after that, please do share it to anyone you think will like music, especially new Indian music, and subscribe to my channel to get more such videos on the state of new Indian music. Also, if you want to know more about the trending Indian music, the quality of music, various artists, and so on, I do music reviews across the board in India, listening to more than 400 songs, both in the Indian movie space. And you can check all that out on my website. The link, the exact link, is put on the description box. And at the same time, do follow me on Instagram. Extragavanza is my handle. Extragavanza.in is my website. The Extravaganza Instagram handle is put on the description box as well. So please do follow me for anything about Indian music. Now let's get to this show. This is about three different composers, and we have three different EPs that I'm going to cover, and we'll see whether I'm recommending skip it or stream it for these. These are recent ones. So let's begin with Andhagan. This is a movie which is a remake of Andhadhun, which was a Hindi movie, a brilliant movie. We all know Sriram Raghavan took it, and it had fantastic actors like Radhika Apte, and Ayushmann Khurrana was the lead actor. Everybody loved the movie, but there were some good songs as well, and it got released in Malayalam with Prithviraj. There were a couple of good songs there, and finally the project went to Prashant. I think his father took up the production responsibilities, and so he bought the rights for the remake. We have the music by Santosh Narayanan, so obviously expectations were built high, and I am a huge fan of Santosh Narayanan. And let us see how the music was. Uh, the very first song that got released was more than a year ago, called Enkadal. I loved it. I think a lot of people loved it. It was one of the best songs of 2022 as well. It was sung by Shri Sriram. It had fantastic piano. The piano being a very, very crucial element in the movie, because the protagonist plays the piano. So obviously piano had to be everywhere. The strings, the backing, the vocal harmonies, the drums, and there was an amazing bridge section, and it was very much like an English song, not the usual Indian song with the pallavi, anupallavi, then what you have, the stanza or the antara, the charanam as they call it. So it was not like that. It was like an English song, and it was in very much of Santosh Narayanan style. I think that was the best song. For this song at least, you should go here. But I will give it a good 7.5 out of 10 for this particular song. Then came Yosiche Yosiche. It's again piano led. It has vocals by Haricharan, and in a way that Haricharan, you would have never heard him sing, and he just goes completely berserk with his singing. Fantastic singing, tough to execute, but he does that very, very well. It's funky jazz types. Again, a good song which I have featured. Kanile is by Aditya RK, a young prodigy who did do very well in one of the reality shows in Tamil channels. It's got good singing, but it just doesn't register to the mind. You don't remember the lines much. It's probably a one-time listen. You wouldn't necessarily replay it again. Chandirare Suryare. This is a song from an old movie, Amaran, composed by a musician called Adityan. Why would they have a small remake of the song, a version sung by Unnikrishnan, I think? Why would they have it in this movie? I have no clue, but it's no great shakes. Finally, we have Yaroni, once again heavy on keyboards and rhythms. and full on disco pop. And it's Benny Dayal in full flow. It reminds me of some of the work of Phil Collins and Genesis. But this too is just passable. It's probably you can something that you can listen one time. So overall, for the EP, Andhagan, I am giving just about 2.5 out of 5. So I'm going to say skip it. That one song you can hear it in Kadal, but other than that, I was a little disappointed from Santosh Narayanan. So it is 2.5 and skip it. Okay, now going to another South Indian production. It's called Romancham. Um, this is supposed to be a horror flick, comedy flick. I'm not yet sure. I've not seen it yet. Uh, it's got music composed by Sushin Shyam, one of the brightest young talents in Indian cinema that we have. Um, he is one of those guys who thinks outside the box. If you ask anyone who's listened to a lot of Malayalam music, it's easy for them to figure out what the soundscape is going to be like. There will be a lot of melody, there will be a lot of folk. But this guy is the guy who thinks a way outside of all these particular genres and comes up with really funky, wacky stuff. And that's why probably he gets some amazing projects. He's fantastic on background scores as well. Now, let's look at how Romancham did. I'm giving it a 3.75 out of a 5, which is a pretty solid number. Um, Atmava Puve, synth laden, it's groovy, it's almost like a blues and a pop, a combination of both. It's got some very enjoyable chorus segments. You will love humming along and listening to it. So that's for Atmava Puve. Then comes Manuja. Manuja is a synth pop song. I mean, that is one common thing. I mean, the soundscape of this album is very synth pop, dance pop, electronic pop, whatever you call it. It alternates between these categories. And it's a huge lesson for people who are trying to create an entire album or an EP in this particular soundscape. How you can still be different, make one song different from each other, maintain the soundscape as well, and create some good music. This is a huge lesson for a lot of young musicians. Manuja has synth pop, like I told you. It's got haunting vocals and harmonies. Again, a song that you will definitely like listening to. I did feature Talai Therichavar. It's fantastic on the keyboards. There is a flute and the brass section, and it keeps reminding me of Backstreet Boys. We've got it going on. So that was a famous song, and there are fragments of that, and you will keep getting reminded of that song when you hear Talai Therichavar. Otamuri Vaikumai. This is a Pradeep special. Pradeep singing in Malayalam, and his vocals are haunting. I mean, like they just keep you grooved. There is no way you're going to be able to focus on anything else unless it's Sushin Shyam's backgrounds. There is a very good production here. I mean, you hear a lot of strings coming later in the song, and then you know that this is a fantastic number overall. So I will definitely check out that as well, and I'm featuring that particular song. Romancham is more of a BGM. It's got this EDM style, and finally, Adranjali. This is it's in the electronic pop category. It's got amazing chorus segments. Please go check out these songs. It's one of the best albums in Malayalam that's come out in recent times. Definitely one of the best in 2023. Maybe it will suit the viewer better if you watch the movie and listen to the music as well. Anyway, I'm asking you to stream it, uh, and I'm giving it a rating of 3.75 out of 5. So that brings us to the last EP that I'm going to cover for today. It's a very famous Hindi movie doing fantastically well on Disney Hotstar. It's called Gulmohar. A lot of people are giving great reviews about it. I've seen it myself, and I love it. If you want to watch a brilliant comeback by Sharmila Tagore, and it's got Manoj Bajpayee and Simran. It's got Suraj. Very good star cast, so you will definitely want to check it out. Pertaining to the music, isn't it great to have one of Hollywood's very famous and up and coming, and he's probably the most famous right now. He's an Indian American of Indian descent. His name is Siddharth Khosla. Siddharth Khosla. If you've seen This Is Us on Disney Hotstar, a fantastic American series involving brothers and family. It's a family drama. I think it's done some 5 to 7 seasons. He was the composer for This Is Us. There is another amazing comedy series that's going on in Disney Hotstar. It's called Only Murders in the Building. And so Siddhartha Khosla is the composer for all these, he's the producer for all these albums. And now he's been given the opportunity to compose music for Gulmohar. He combines with Alan Demos, and I'm giving it a 3.25 out of 5. And I'm asking you to stream it, particularly because of two songs which I really loved. And I'm also giving it a 3.25 out of 5 because it's got some very good background scores. Now, uh, Dilkash is sung by Talat Aziz, who's also coming in the movie. Um, it sounds a bit like Afri Afri, the song, famous song that comes in Coke Studio. I think there's a bit of Rag Bhageshri. It's got good pianos and good guitars. Something that you will enjoy in the twilight when you listen to it, and especially when you watch the movie. Um, then it also feels like a little bit of Vaishnava Janato. So probably there is some Rag Desh as well. And it reminds me of A Hosala, composed by Salim Suleiman for the movie Door. Okay, then comes Voghar. Okay, this is sung by one of my favorite singer-songwriters of recent times. Her name is Utsavija. I featured her in my weekly charts just about a couple of weeks ago for a fantastic performance for a song called Rijao. She sung this. It's got the impounding piano and the strings in the background. It comes in at a nice spot in the movie where a lot of things are happening, and this song just adds to the tension and the excitement later in the movie. uh, the best part is the bridge section where which has some arrangements and vocal harmonies which you would really love. um, it starts flowing with faster vigor compared to the rest of the song, which is a little bit slower. The bridge section is fantastic, and I think credit goes to the composers as well as Utsavija for this. And the final song that I like is Horime. It comes like folk and a pop fusion. It's got great synths, good humming. It's got a chorus portion as well. Some fantastic singers are on board for this. Um, so that's about the songs. Now, the BGMs, Kanishk Seth, who is the son of Kavita Seth, who has been featured by me multiple times. And if you don't know who Kanishk Seth is, you probably should just go type out Rangasari on the internet. You know that famous song which was composed by and produced by Kanishk Seth. So he has worked completely alongside Siddhartha Khosla and Alan Demos, and they have worked together on the BGMs. Okay, whenever there is this love story of Reshma, the house help, and Jitu, the guy who works as the security guard for the house, whenever the love story is shown, I love how the flute, and the keys are used to create that romanticism. Then there are scenes where which show Adi, he's the son, and he's yet to become a successful guy. He's trying to make something out of his app, and the struggles that he's facing. These scenes are dominated by the piano, and they're pretty engaging and they keep you hooked. And finally, there's this lovely scene where this is a spoiler alert for you if you've not yet seen the movie, where Manoj Bajpayee is sitting there and reading his father's will, and there's a lot of tension there, and there is a surprise element, and there is sadness in that particular scene, and there you will find the strings just taking complete control. So overall, for the entire album, I'm giving it a 3.25 out of 5, and I'm asking you to stream it. Okay, guys, if you like this show, if you like the format, whatever it is, please do comment. Please do press the like button, subscribe button, and do share it to anyone you think will like to know all these about Indian music. Until I see you next week, it's bye bye.